welcome back, everybody, to Crunch Time Season 12, Episode 11. I'm Sarah, this is Dillon Walton, and this is Nick Arvin. Before we get started in all of our sports today, tell me about y'all's weekend. How'd y'all have a weekend?
It was pretty cool. Got to play golf this weekend, so that was fun. The rain washed away, Saturday?
Yep.
Yeah, so I got to play Sunday. I wanted Arvin to come out there, but, he's a man of the Lord, and I can't, not to say I ain't either, because my mama going to kill me if I don't specify that. But, it's just, I haven't found me. I ain't going to explain it because I'm making myself sound bad. But I got to play golf on Sunday. It was extremely fun. Shot over 100. So we'll just leave it at that. But, Nick, we can go get us around then sometimes, man. We got to go.
Get us around.
Yeah, we got to. Around the golf, no.
Yeah. Let's clarify.
Around the golf. But other than that, though, I don't think I really did anything special. Homework, trying to graduate.
Yeah.
So we gotta get us around the golf end, Nick, for sure.
Yeah.
Shoot, my tee time got canceled on Saturday. I was excited to go play. Sitting in the church pew on Sunday when this man Dillon Walton he texted
He's already
me,
at church.
We going golfing today? Are we going golfing today? No, we're singing our praises to the Lord because it's Sunday. But we're good. We made it out. I'm excited to go golfing one of these days with you, Dillon. But more importantly, I'm excited to talk about Austin Peay Sports.
Yeah.
There's a lot on the agenda today in the second to last episode of both Sarah
don't talk about
and Dillon's time on Crunch Time.
yes,
I'm just
Sue.
starting out. They're ending. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it then. Okay, so first, before we get into it, actually, we have a few little quick reminders. APSU-TV will be covering the girls flag football playoffs on April 27th. So make sure y'all tune in and support this great local talent. Y'all want to talk about that?
Honestly,
how's that going to look?
So we did it last year. I want to say it was West Creek and Montgomery Central.
You're right.
Yeah. So I can't remember who won.
I believe Central won.
Montgomery Central won.
I believe so.
Yeah. But it was entertaining. It was entertaining. Girls flag football. And, I'm a big avid fan. I love my girls.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they should be paid sometimes more than men in sports, but that's a different conversation for a different day. But I love women's sports, and it was fun watching the young ladies of the future, play sports. But right now it's kind of in between because word on the street is there's a storm on the horizon in Tennessee.
That's what they're saying.
That's what the people saying. So we got to wait and figure out, hopefully we do it. In terms of my sleep schedule, I hope it's, a different day.
Mm-hmm.
But, it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. But I'm excited. I'm excited to do it one more time. I think it'll be fun.
And I hate to put you back on the spot, but can you tell us a little bit about the ESPYs
The
that happened?
ESPYs, man. First of all, before I get into the ESPYs, because some of me and Nick's favorite players got some awards there.
Yeah.
But I'm a put out a marketing message. We want to be part of the ESPYs.
We do.
We want to be part of the ESPYs. The com media, sports media people, let's be at the ESPYs. It need to be Nick Arvin interviewing, athlete of the year, CP3. It need to be Will West out there. Will West on the ones and twos today. So shout out my boy. But he need to be out there, either running the production or interviewing, the AD or President Carr. We got so many talented young up and coming.
Out and just support.
It's we got too many young talented people not to be a part of the ESPYs. These student athletes, shout out Kendall Ball, student scholar athlete of the year. We got too many athletes that's just too good and so many different avenues on and off the field, on and off the court. They need the recognition. They need the love. So it's like, come on, what better people to do it outside of people who love these athletes the most in this sports media team? But I mean, CP3 and student athlete of the year. Athlete of the year, Kendall Ball, like I said, student athlete. What you think? What you think of some of them awards, dog? How you feeling?
How in the world did Kendall Ball win Student Athlete of the Year? I think we need a recount on that one. I think we need a recount. But shoot, CP3. CP3. He's got the. Okay.
Lock in.
Real talk.
We're good.
CP3 deserves the athlete
Facts.
of the year. He probably has more NIL money than our program combined.
Agreed.
Our whole comms program is probably not worth as much as Chris Parsons' pockets after this year and the way that he is going to produce next year for the Austin Peay Governors. So shout out Chris Parsons. We'll talk about the baseball team a little bit later in the show, but I saw Houston Haybear, who I went to high school with, funny enough. He's now hitting home runs. He was flicked up next to Chris Parsons. So it was great to see that. It was great to see some baseball guys get recognized alongside some football players. And how about Team of the Year? Austin Peay men's basketball.
Yep.
Coach Gipp deserves that one for the way that they were able to produce. Obviously, the season doesn't end out necessarily the way that they want, losing to Queens in the ASUN semifinals, but retention, development, recruitment. That's what Coach Gibson's ready to do, and that's what he's probably going to bring into next year.
Yeah, he had Zyree Rookie of the Year, CP, Colin Parker, the basketball version, had Newcomer of the Year. He won Coach of the Year for Austin Peay.
A lot of basketball recognition.
Yeah, a lot of basketball recognition. So that feels good. But, I mean, you know, no diss to Kendall Ball, but, I mean, I ain't going to take a shot at the football team because that was going to be a crazy – you know what? I'm going to say it because I'm going to say it. You know, the GPA was already like a 3.1. So, I mean, all Kendall had to do was get like a 3.3. I think Kendall can get a 3.3 for sure.
Kendall.
He's a hard worker on and off the field for sure.
He's on the board.
he running our stuff too, so he can hear us. But, you know, it's all love, K-Dog. It's all love. I mean, as long as you come through for me on Saturday for my grass shooter, you know, that's all that matter, gang. That's all that matter.
But, yeah, so the SPs were a huge thing that happened on Monday. And for future reference, we want to be invited, so just invite us next time.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and start with Gov's baseball, who had a huge weekend of their own. They swept the Bellarmine Knights at Maynard Park this weekend. Game one was the Govs winning 16-6 on a mercy rule. Cole Johnson hit his 9th home run of the season, and Ray Velasquez delivered a walk-off homer, which was his 11th of the year. And then Cody Arrington picked up his 3rd win of the season as well. And then in that game two, Houston Herbert and Paris Pridgeon, went back-to-back in the 3rd inning, and Zion Taylor added his 8th home run. Jackson shut the door late, but he earned his 2nd save of the season in a 5.2 win. And then in that game 3, the Govs exploded early with 7 runs in the 2nd inning and cruised to a 10-5 victory. Brody Lamb picking up his 1st win of the season. So a lot of stuff going on with baseball. What kind of leap do y'all think the team can make down in Lipscomb this week? Y'all think?
I'll let you go, Arthur. What you got?
I think they can take the leap, but it's going to be on the pitching. Once again, we've continued to talk about the pitching. You see with the series against Bellarmine, the bats are absolutely there. And I want to highlight one of the bats in the lineup because Houston Haybear comes over. Clarksville's own Rossview Baseballs. Houston Haybear actually went to high school with him for a little bit. But a lot of times when you watch these guys in high school, you wonder, are they going to translate? And even I did wonder, was he going to translate to Austin Peay? To start out the year, I didn't really know, but he has forced his way into the starting lineup. He started against Bellarmine. I believe he's put up 4 home runs on the year, but he looks like he's playing even better now at Austin Peay than how he played at Rossview in high school, which is absolutely insane. And we've had this conversation talking about Coach Gipp wanting Armani Smith out of Kirkwood. Yep. The way to sell tickets in Clarksville, you want to bring people to the hand, you market Houston Haybear. That is the way that you get people to the hand. Market Clarksville high school talent. It's the only way, in my personal opinion. So shout out to Houston Haybear. Shout out to Austin Peay's bats in the lineup against Bellarmine. If they're able to continue, only 1 game back now of North Alabama in the Gold League, they have a serious shot of getting back to the top in the division.
Yeah, I agree. We got swept by North Alabama, who's only 1 game ahead, like you said, 11-7 in that Gold division. So that'll be a get back. We play them again at the end of the season. But getting that Bellarmine sweep was extremely big. I'm looking at the standings now. Basically, you know, if Bellarmine would have never got swept, it probably could have been easily a 5-way tie between North Alabama, UCA, AP, Lipscomb, and Bellarmine. Shout out to EKU for giving out free wins in baseball.
Fair enough.
But the Bellarmine, we're going to get to the Bellarmine part first. Huge sweep. That's what you needed. We haven't had a sweep at home in a conference opponent all season long. Well, we were talking off camera, Nick. I know you said that this is not the team of past years. You know how we've been so dominant with the bats, and then the pitching can be subpar, but we can just still skate to a victory. It's not that type of way anymore. These teams are willing to shoot out with us. They're willing to go bat for bat, bang for bang, home run for home run. And right now, sometimes we can't bite the bullet all the way. Sometimes we can't let it out on the other end because we get filled up with home runs. But I like to see, we were talking about last week, the stretch, right? The competitive stretch that you're facing Lipscomb, you're facing UCA, North Alabama, you're facing top caliber teams in the division, and you only want to play the best. I mean, nobody want to go against sorry players because they don't make sorry players. The sorry players don't make you better.
I agree.
Yeah. So it feels good to know that, okay, we beat somebody of worthy competition. Not only did we beat them, we dominate them. So now it's time for what they call it, the I-24.
Whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, so that's what they call it. But now it's time to see, because Lipscomb gave us belt. I mean, blew us to smithereens.
They did.
I mean, it was bad. It was not. I mean, the first game was competitive. The second game was okay. But that third one on that Sunday, me and Will West, we still get trauma from it.
That game makes you question, like, why do you even come to the ballpark at this point? Like, why are you practicing to get beat by 13 at home, you know?
It's embarrassing.
It is.
It's embarrassing.
I mean, and that kind of comes to what we're talking about with this baseball team this year, the question marks surrounding the team. It's like, is this the same team as last year where they were so dominant, one of the best years in Austin Peay baseball history in Roland Fanning's tenure? But I say it's not last year's team, and you have to be realistic with that fact. They're sitting 20-20, and while they can contend in the ASUN, this isn't going to be a baseball team that you can compare to last year because it's not fair. It's not realistic. This is a team of younger guys that need to develop and get better going into next year. This isn't a team that's going to blow you away, break records, but even with that, even with all the development and all these younger guys that need to get used to this lineup, this is still a team that's only a game back in the Gold League. So I feel like we need to hold that into perspective, look at Lipscomb, look at North Alabama, say, if you handle your business there, the expectations of the ceiling for this baseball team can go up.
Yeah, and I agree. And Sarah, I apologize if I'm skipping ahead, but I think Lipscomb is so important for us this season because I'm looking at I want to go back to the rest of the baseball schedule, make sure I got it correctly. We got Lipscomb this weekend, right? And I know we play EKU down the road. That's free wins. That's free money. So no disrespect to Lipscomb. I know we got a midweek coming up after we play Lipscomb. No. Make sure. Yeah, after we play Lipscomb this weekend. So, yeah, we got a midweek coming up after we play Lipscomb against WKU. Yeah, make sure I'm reading that right. But then we play the number one team in UCA. So, back-to-back weekends where we're in our home state, I guess. You know, Nashville's up the road. But back-to-back weekends where we can take control of the ASUN. And we haven't had the best season. Like you said, we're just above 500. That's what we need. We're right at 520-20. So this is the stretch that you want to go on. You play North Al, UCA, Lipscomb, 3 straight weekends in a row. Go take the crown.
Here's my thoughts on it, too. I feel like when you look at Roland Fanning and this baseball team right now, and this may not be fair to them, but a lot of the speculation around this team, or I guess a lot of the rhetoric, is you're kind of trying to chase what your rivals in Murray State did a few years ago, making it to Omaha and really competing. But when I look at the ASUN and how competitive it is this year,
that's a dogfight.
It is. It's the best the ASUN's been in years, to in my opinion. So you look at what Austin Peay's doing this year and you say, it's tough, they've struggled, but you have to go through a Central Arkansas. You have to go through a North Alabama. You have to be able to win in tough environments on the road and at home to say, what's our goal? Because, I mean, if it's getting to Omaha, if it's getting to the field of 64, you're going to have to play teams much harder than what's already in a tough ASUN. So I like the competition. I think that it's perfect. And if Austin Peay can't live up to that competition, well, they can't live up to the round of 64.
Yeah, and I agree with you because, and then we can move on right after this, but just because you beat them in the regular season, you got to do it a month later.
Yeah.
You have to get through that ASUN championship. You got double elimination brackets. So just because you lose a series does not totally mean you're out 100%, but it's all about the bounce back mentality. Just because you drop a series, you have another chance. And can these guys recoup? It's been up and down. It's been a long season. It's been a lot of games against tough competition. But who doesn't want to be a champion? I mean, like, who doesn't want a ring?
What's the goal for this season? You look at it, 20-20 now, 40 games into the year. What is the goal for this team? Because we asked Roland Fanning preseason, he wasn't going to give a set answer, but it was pretty clear. He wants to win the ASUN. He wants to go to the NCAA tournament. Is that still the goal now, or are the standards lowered, raised?
I think, and this is my personal opinion, even in all of these sports, baseball, basketball, football, whatever, regular season champions do not hold any weight.
I agree. 100%.
I don't believe they hold any weight because, yes, you had a healthy regular season. You know, maybe your starting quarterback was healthier longer in the entire season than everybody else's. Okay, that just means you had the war of attrition, war of nutrition. Can you do it when everybody's ready to go, when everybody's focused on the same goal, and that is putting that trophy up in the air? Honestly, I don't know. I'm going to be real with you. I don't know. I have no idea what the goal is because this has not been like any other Rolling Fanning team I've been able to watch these last 3 years. But, I mean, that can also be a good thing. Yeah. That can also be a good thing.
I think underachievement in the regular season can lead to success in the tournament. And that's kind of a weird way to put that, or a weird way to say.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
But when you go through the trials and tribulations of a tough regular season, when you have nothing to lose and your sole focus is winning in the conference tournament, when your back is against the wall, there's nothing to do but fight forward. So hopefully that Roland Fanning team this year, the 2026 iteration of Austin Peay baseball, does find themselves in a similar situation.
They'll be back in action on Wednesday, April 22nd at Western Kentucky at 6 p.m. So we're going to be watching for that one, and then that 3-game series on the road against Lipscomb this weekend. Before we move on to the rest of our spring sports, Kendall Ball got to talk to softball head coach Cassie about the season. So we're going to play that for you now.
I know I mentioned, the ASUN, conference tournament, and this is actually going to be the last year y'all in the ASUN.
Crazy, right?
So how do you feel about moving to a new conference with new teams?
Yeah, I feel like we just did it, honestly. I feel like we had this conversation a couple years ago, and it was like, hey, this is going to be the last OVC tournament. Like, let's go out and do something crazy. And here we are. We're doing it again. And so the last ASUN tournament, ASUN's been great to us. We've had a great time. We've enjoyed it. Now we move on, and we have new conference with new teams. It's just kind of getting to know the new opponents and figuring out how are we going to beat them? How are we going to out-recruit them? And, where's our competition there?
So I like to mention, one player. I think, we all know who it is. Let's talk about Brie Howard.
Let's talk about Brie Howard.
She's had a historic season, already broke the RBR record, and she's tied for the home run record. And, a fun fact while I was, researching, it was previously held by an assistant coach on your staff.
Yes.
So tell me about how it's been able to see, Brie develop since you recruited her to, come to this point, and how has the dynamic been between the coach and the player where she's like, oh, I'm going to break my coach's records?
Honestly, I haven't heard any smack talking, but that doesn't mean that it hasn't happened. It probably already has. But as far as Brie, I think, Brie came in as a freshman when I recruited her. We had the conversation of you come here, you have the opportunity to help us do something that this program's never done. You have the opportunity to leave your legacy. And she was about it. That's what she wanted. She was like, yes, sign me up. And so her freshman year, she came in with a bang. And every year we've been able to get better. The thing that I love the most is here we come junior year, and we set lofty goals. And she's like, Coach K, this is what I want. And I'm like, okay, do you actually know how you're going to get there? And Brie's raw talent. The girl's she's athletic, okay? And I'm like, you're going to have to work harder than you've ever worked before. And I'll call her out. My athletes are used to it. And she's like, okay, game on, let's go. And so this year, her junior year, it's truly the first year where she's poured into her craft. So to be able to see her get the success on top of what she's already done before, it's pretty special. And then you have a whole nother year. So I think if Brie just stays locked, right now we may be in that one home run and I break the record mode. I'm really hoping we get past that soon. I think it's going to come. But once it does, I think we're going to elevate, and I think she's going to do even more. I really do.
Yeah, the fact that you said this is really the first year of her, really.
She's a hard worker
on her craft.
But I mean, when I'm saying doing extra, this is the first year where she's a cage rat, at 8:00 at night going to get extra swing.
So the rest of that interview will be up later this week. So make sure y'all go watch the rest of it. So the Gov softball team did have a tough weekend this weekend. They got swept by North Alabama. In game 1, they fell 5-4 in a close one, even despite out-hitting the Lions 7-6. Alana Jones threw her 4.2 innings and struck out 5. But the big story, Brie Howard made history, breaking the single-season home run record with her 20th of the year. We've been waiting on this one, so it's really cool to see that she finally did that. In game 2, it was a 7-5 loss with North Alabama hitting 5 home runs. And then in game 3, the Govs fell 9-1, with Howard accounting for the team's only run, her 20th. So that one was a big one and really contributed to her standout year. Brie Howard breaking that record is huge, not just for her, but for the program. What does this momentum mean for her and the team, like, moving forward?
I go this route first, and then I know me and Nick can go back and forth about the rest of it. But for one, I'm excited that she finally got a chance to break the record. I'm a little bit upset that it was on the road. I wanted to be a part of history, but I'm glad she got to do it nevertheless. I know when you have a record on the horizon, it's hard to accomplish it because you're always overthinking, you know, the swing and what pitch is coming next and all of the extra things that comes with breaking a record. So I'm excited that she finally got a chance to break it. I hate when people break records in losses. When LeBron James broke the scoring record against OKC for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and lost to OKC, I did not like that. There's certain things I just feel like deserve a win, and I feel like Brie Howard deserved the win there. As you've seen Coach Stanfield talk about Brie in that interview when y'all watch it for the rest as of its entirety. But the team hit a rough patch. That's what happens when you go against these tough teams in the ASUN. But luckily, they take the trip on the I-24, the I-24 rivalry, I guess. They go play Lipscomb, so I'm excited to see how that'll go about. But Brie Howard, man, she's a potential Hall of Famer. All she has to do is finish her career here. You know, she really can stop playing today.
Yeah, if she wanted to.
Yeah, if she wanted to, she can retire. She can retire, and I'm pretty sure her jersey will be up in the rafters. Nobody else should wear the number 18 for Austin Peay softball, as long as Brie Howard agrees to it. But she's done the dang thing, man. She's been phenomenal all of her 3 seasons here, so she's phenomenal. I'm happy that she could do it, and man, let's keep getting home runs, Brie. Let's keep getting home runs.
I think it means a lot for Brie Howard to answer your question. I'm ecstatic for her. I'm happy for her. I'm happy for what that means for the program. But to answer your question about what it means for Austin Peay, not a dang thing.
Facts.
And I think that Brie Howard would tell you the exact same thing. Who cares about a record if you're losing, right? The game is about winning. It's not about how many home runs you hit. It's not about how many records you break. It's about how many games you win. And right now, Austin Peay softball is not doing that. They lost 5 in a row. So I look at this lineup. You look at Brie Howard, but we've got someone else in the starting lineup that's just as good with Slam and Sammy Shelander.
Man, talk about it.
She's batting over 400 on the year, 1,200 OPS. She has just as many good stats outside of the home run numbers as Brie Howard. It's a murderer's row in this Austin Peay starting lineup, and yet they can't win a game. So I look right now and I say, what is the issue with this softball team? Because we're not holding the same standard to the baseball team. They also
talk about it.
They also lose games, but we don't get
it's
on.
Still love for the baseball team.
It's love. It's love for the baseball team. But I just feel like we need to have a realistic standard for what we value as success right now. Because yes, Brie Howard, excellent, amazing softball player rather. But when you have the talent, when you have Brie Howard and you still can't win, it's time to take a look elsewhere as to what the problem is. I can't answer that right now. I know the pitching stats aren't great, but I feel like we get to the end of this season, depending on what this squad does the rest of the way, and then we'll have to take some looks elsewhere as to what the issue was with this year.
Coach Stanfield, she talks about it, and it's in any sport. That tournament, the conference tournament, it doesn't matter what you really do in the regular season, as long as you catch fire in those last 3.
But do you have confidence in this team that they can catch fire?
Yes,
I don't.
When you have 5, make sure I got my number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batters batting over 300, you have make sure 1, 2, 3 players with over double-digit home runs. You have 1, 2 on the brink with Hinton and Burns with 7 and 8 home runs. It's almost 5 players in double figures of home runs. That's scary on any given day.
But you also only have 1 pitcher under a 4 ERA. And what matters in tournament settings?
Pitching.
And
let's go here. How many times has Cameron Grayson won Pitcher of the Week in the ASUN? Twice. So she's been the best pitcher in the ASUN twice. And if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I think I'm wrong, but I want to say the first 2 rounds are best of 3. when you get to that tournament style.
I mean, but I don't see 3 pitchers on this team that can win 2 games. I see. I think Alana Jones. I think Cameron Grayson are great. I think they're great, but can they consistently win? I mean.
Yes.
I mean, if that's how you feel about it, that's okay. But I see a team right now that's lost 5 games in a row. So it's difficult for me to sit right here and see a team that's lost 5 in a row down the biggest stretch of the year and then go into the tournament and be confident that they're going to be able to win 2 games in a 3-game series. But that's just how I feel about it.
But see, like you said, we go back to baseball and then we say baseball gets the love and can the bats get hot? And the same questions for both teams. It's the same questions. Both teams are struggling. I mean, being 500 is not bad, but you accept it. But it's not bad, but it's all about just finding that rhythm at the right time.
I agree with you, but who is Brie Howard on the Austin Peay baseball team? Who is Sammy on the Austin Peay baseball team? I would say pound for pound, Austin Peay softball has the better bats in the lineup. They have the better talent pound for pound, but they're still losing games. That's my point, is what is the problem here? When you have all this talent, yet you're still on a 5-game losing streak. I feel like that's why it's hard to evaluate the same thing to Austin Peay baseball because they don't have that star. They don't have that marketable player that you throw on the poster like a Brie Howard and say, this is why you come out to games. Austin Peay softball has that, but unless you can win games, it's hard to put butts in seats.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I can say, and we were talking about this off camera. I know we are a little crunched for time, no pun intended, but for Austin Peay, it is a kind of a different world to get those butts in the seats. Like you said, you got Chris Parson, superstar. You got Colin Parker, superstar basketball. Brie Howard, superstar softball. Mac Patton, superstar women's lacrosse. Like all across the board. But baseball, who is that number? You don't have the Lyles Miller Green anymore. You don't. Velasquez is a good guy, but he's just it's a little bit different. But at the end of the day, 26-21, and you're on a 5-game losing streak. So just say you go 3-2 in that, your record looks a whole lot different. And you still Lipscomb is not one of the best teams in ASUN, and EKU is the middle of the pack. So you have 2 series left in the rest of your regular season for softball. Can you get the job done again? Can you go 4-2, 5-1 in these last 6 games? It is possible. And now the question changes, or is it can they get it done? Will they get it done? I think that changes in these next 2 weekends.
It's crucial. It's not about when this team's going to put it together anymore. It's they have to put it together right now or there are going to be issues.
I agree.
Well, the ladies currently sit 4th in the gold division, which makes this upcoming series so important. So that's this weekend. Make sure y'all tune into that. In other Gov news, junior Tamar Upshaw from men's cross country made history. He broke the T46 800-meter world record by 3 seconds. Amazing. The previous record was set at the 2012 Paralympic Games, so this is an incredible accomplishment for him. Gov's women lacrosse dropped a tough one to Stetson, 17-13 in their final road game of their inaugural season. They'll wrap the season up at home against Lindenwood at Morgan Bros Field this Saturday at noon. And it'll be senior day, so make sure y'all come out and support them. And then both men's and women's tennis saw their seasons come to an end in the quarterfinals, with the men losing to top-seeded North Florida and the women to North Alabama. They had a great season overall. We love our tennis players. We do. Yes. And then here's what to keep an eye on coming up for this week. Just a quick run-through list of it. Softball hits the road for a key series against Lipscomb. Baseball against WKU on Wednesday, and then Lipscomb in the weekend. And then lacrosse senior day. So don't forget any of that. For everything else you want to know, go to letsgop.com. And while you're at it, leave us a comment of what game was your favorite this season. We want to know the whole season, fall, spring. Let us know. Thank you guys for joining us on Crunch Time. This was season 12, episode 9. Oh, episode 11. Sorry, guys. I'm Sarah. This is Dillon, and this is Nick. Thank you guys for watching, and go Peay.